What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a long time since I've posted anything, any videos, and it's just life. Life's a journey, and it always has its twists and turns and ups and downs and things like that. So, I mean, what originally began as the idea of a movie review page, as I found out, reviewing movies sort of it took the enjoyment out of watching movies because I would have to be a little too analytical, and it prevented me from just being able to enjoy the film. I had to literally dissect everything in the movie and just laser focus on it. So that's where over a year ago I decided that was maybe in a great once in a while would I do a film review, maybe, but that wasn't something that I had come to enjoy as much as I thought I would. But for me, I just videos are kind of therapeutic because it allows me to vent or speak on ideas that I have, and still leave the floodgates open for whether it be discussion or anything that anyone who sees these videos would like to have me talk about, or just to chip in their 2 cents in the comments, whatever they want to do. But maybe it's just everything going on with this virus pandemic right now, and people are starting to go a little stir crazy from staying at home or just panicking. It just I've been doing a lot of inner self reflecting this past while now, and I I, I think in times like this where everyone's just in such a panic state, some people are just wrongfully hoarding things and causing problems for families and or even elderly people. I've tried my best to contribute in any way I can. I've given some of my things away. I've offered many times on Facebook just to try to help out wherever I could. Because I think in this time it's just the most important thing we can do is be there for each other in any way, shape, or form. If it's even just giving a few rolls of toilet paper to someone in need, that's amazing. At least in my opinion, that's phenomenal. Because it seems like everyone's in such a panic state right now. They're only focusing on numero uno. But the thing is, and at least in my opinion, from how I look at things now, because my perspective has completely been altered this past, well, since January. But we all live together here on this world. Yes, it is important to always make sure you're okay and to better yourself in any way possible. But I think, when everyone says, only worry about yourself, that only goes to a certain extent. I think there has to be a point in life where we push away from that selfish mentality. And I do say selfish mentality because I myself focused on only me for years. And then I got married. Didn't understand anything about marriage, kids, really, even though, my dream ever since I was, in high school was to be a father and to be just part of a family. But I had so much mental anxiety, depression, and things like that, and then on top of it, just two very strong-willed people come together, and we clashed. It was not the right time. It was not the right circumstance. I guess. And needless to say, that ended. And thankfully, she's now remarried. I hope her kids are doing great because I mean, I loved the shit out of them. But, then I jumped in being selfish. And now here's where the whole thing coming back about selfish is. I jumped into a relationship a few months after my divorce. And I mean, I just fell head over heels. I was, whoa. Sorry, I'm still, this one I'm still taking some time to try to move past because it was just, it really sucked. It really sucked, losing this gal. But I jumped headfirst into a relationship with this lady I met, at work. And, I tried, and I used, because, I mean, I really did. I really didn't want to be anything but a man that she would be happy to spend the rest of her life with. But in my own ignorance, I still just tried to jump into it without even letting her know that I was damaged and that I had flaws and I needed to figure myself out. And the thing is, she kind of warned me about that as time went on. She warned me, like, I feel like you're putting problems that you had from your marriage into this relationship, and it's messing with things. And I didn't want to hear it because I was selfish. And eventually, then I lost my apartment in Appleton, and her best friend and her husband took me in, and I was a piece of shit, and I s- I stole. I couldn't find a job right away, and I stole from one of their roommates, someone else who lived there. I stole from this person, and as a cruel twist of fate would have it, that person and I actually ended up becoming pretty close. Whenever I'd have a panic attack or a depression attack, this person would always just sit there, hear me out, um, give me hugs, just let me know that it was okay. And for months, about 5 months, I knew what I had done, and it just kept festering in my mind because I knew someday it was going to come to light, and eventually it did, and they I can't blame them for what they did. They kicked me out, and I get it. I had violated the harmony of their house, and just from all being selfish and broken and not taking the time to mature and fix myself. And not it was one thing when I got a divorce. It was just okay. Well, you know what? This has been broken for a long time, and it's best we go our separate ways. Losing everyone in Appleton this last time, the family I was living with, and my girlfriend, this it's still a battle. It's still something I'm struggling to cope with because it wasn't easy for me, and I was raised to when you open your heart and you say you love someone or someone's family, that you fight for it. So it's not necessarily easy for me at this time to just to say, oh well, forget about them and go on. I can't do that. That's not who I am. That's not how I was raised. And to add in to the to the fucked up damage of it all. About a week after they sent me packing, I lost my best friend. It was my mother, and it that was my wake up call because I made two promises. The first promise was the day I had to leave them and come back to well, then it was Grafton. Now I live in Port, but I made a promise to myself that I would never hurt anyone again because I mean, these people were literally the greatest people I've ever met in my life, and I loved them with every fiber of my heart. Every fiber. They were the nicest, kindest, sweetest people. And if I was so selfish and just a piece of shit that I could make them hate me and loathe me that much, then clearly something was wrong with me, and I had to get my shit right. And, a week later when I lost my mom, I had made her a promise that I would be the best man possible. I would be the man she raised, and I would make her proud of me no matter what. So now every single day I wake up and I remind myself of those two promises I made. And, I just constantly struggle. And I still have anxiety spats. I'm kind of fighting one right now at this moment because I really don't like talking about all that stuff. But, it's what needs to happen. It's better. I found it better to face it instead of bury it, because when I was in Appleton with these people, I buried a lot of it. And like I said, the fact that I knew what I had done wrong when I had first gotten there, I buried it. And I tried to just forget about it, but it stayed in my head. So there would be, nights when I'd get home or I'd talk to them and I would just feel so much love for them, but then it would come back to me what I did. And I would just go lock myself in my room and just freak out. So, at least for me, it probably works differently for everybody. You know, this is how I kind of, speaking of it and letting it out, it's kind of helping suppress it in a way, not suppress it, but just kind of work through it in a way, which is why I'm doing this. But, that's kind of been the whole past bit, um, like last year of my life, basically. And, now I live in Port. I got my own place. Thankfully, because of the promises I've made, I've finally been able to work myself out of debt. I have no more credit debt. I stuck to the promise I made my mother, and before she passed, and I got 2 jobs. I've been working really hard, trying to stay healthy, eat better, live better, think better, and in times going back to how I started this video with this whole virus outbreak, people are starting to panic or just get um, tired of being at home. It's like now's the time. I understand it's scary. Some people may even have relatives or friends who are sick, but now's the time when you're staying at home. I mean, you're a parent. I'm sure there's parents out there who have to worry about the homeschooling and things like that. So you have your plates full. I completely get it. Completely get it. And but now's the time to set some goals for yourself that maybe you wouldn't have had time to when you were out and about. Whether it just be finding a new hobby, or I started 2 years ago, but I stopped just because I was all over the place. But I mean, about a month ago, I recently restarted learning Hawaiian. Why? I don't know. I've always found it interesting, and like 2 years ago, like right when Aquaman was coming out, I was like, dude, I did research on Hawaii just to kind of learn about it, and it's such a beautiful place, and I love the language. So I started learning Hawaiian a while back, and then recently, just these past few weeks, I kind of repicked it up again. And for me, it's easier than learning Spanish. I don't know. I enjoy it, so I'm gonna keep doing that. But now is the time to focus on just the little things you can do instead of panicking and worrying. Oh God, I'm gonna go crazy in this house. Well, work on a project. Just figure something out. You can. It's not that bad. Our grandparents. I've seen it all over Facebook, and it's so true. Our grandparents got called to war. We just have to stay in the house. We have the internet. We live in a digital age. It's not the dark ages. We're okay. We're gonna be good. And you know, but it's just remember to always take a deep breath and know that we're all gonna be fine. I mean, yes, this is a terrible pandemic that's happening, and it breaks my heart to see all the videos of people suffering. But yet, then I see those posts about people who have recovered. I saw one this morning about a baby who recovered, and that just honestly, I started crying because I was so happy. I'm a big softie. I do cry a lot, and that's just because, especially lately, because I finally am re in touch with who I am, and I don't hide behind any false macho bullshit. I don't know. That's just not who I am. And I think the most important thing anyone can do now in a state of crisis is just be true to yourself and never give up hope that there always is a light at the end of the tunnel. Because there is. There's always a light. Even if you don't see it, even if, like in my case, you made terrible, terrible mistakes and you've hurt people, you're human. You will make mistakes. You will falter. You will fall. Everyone does. And anyone who says they haven't ever messed up, I will call them a liar. In one way, shape, or form, everybody messes up, in their life. It could be small, could be big. That's living. Don't give up. Don't give up the fight. Because, you know, uh-oh, I shouldn't have touched my face, but I had an itch. But, just no matter what, just work through this quarantine any way you have to. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to be able to get out of the house because I'm an essential employee, whatever that means. It's the heroes out there that I look up to and I just have so much love and respect for right now. The medics, the people delivering foods and things like that. Those people are heroes and just, I love them so much. And it's so freaking cool what they're doing for the world right now. But yeah, just set some goals. Do whatever you have to. Maybe just figure it out. Just don't give up hope because, you know, I believe me, there were some points this January where I was really teetering, but before my mother even passed. I mean, I was teetering on some really dark thoughts and almost made a huge mistake. But, it didn't work out that way, thankfully. And now I just wake up every day thankful that I wake up, thankful to be alive, given that I'm given the opportunity every day to keep pressing on to better myself, to be the Ryan that my mother knew I could be, instead of the Ryan I was pretending to be because I was always scared of rejection and I wanted to be a showman. That's why I was always so loud. In high school, I was just a clown. That wasn't me at all. I'm actually, I have a reading corner over here in my apartment, and most nights I'll just sit there quietly and listen to some tunes and read a book. I'm very dull, but I can't let people know that because they might not. Well, I thought that's what I needed to do because I didn't want people to see me as this weird, quiet, you know, relaxed guy. Because I learned years ago, if you make people laugh and be the clown, then people want to be near you and they want to, invest time in you and things like that. But that was all crap. So yeah, I mean, mostly when I'm not at work now for this whole quarantine, stay inside as much as possible, I just read, listen to tunes. That's would I like to be out at stores and stuff if they were still open? Of course, why not? I mean, I'd love to go window shop or go get some more flowers or pictures for my house. But, it's just what it is. You can't let it get you down. We will get through this. Just set your goals, keep a positive state of mind, be thankful every morning that you wake up, because that's a gift. You know, or what was the saying? Tomorrow's a gift, today is the present. You know, and that's so true. Every day, just wake up, be thankful, make sure, just be safe in this situation. Just be safe. Obviously, I can't believe it's such a huge thing now. People are freaking out. Wash your hands regularly, as if that wasn't a thing before this. I worked in the restaurant industry for years. People are so flabbergasted about this, and it blows my mind. It's like, well, how did you all live before this happened? I washed my hands very regularly. I don't know. No judgment, but I'm just saying I think that's a little goofy. But yeah, just, you know, never give up hope. Not in these times, not in any time. Never give up hope. If you woke up, there is a reason, and even if you feel down, depressed, there's a reason you wake up every day. Whether it's to be the best you can, whether it's to be the best parent, the best friend, the best girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, fiance, whatever it is. If you woke up today, it was because you were meant to. And just never forget that, please. This YouTube channel of mine now is probably going to be more based, something like this, just talks, things we can vent about. And please feel free to give, like leave a comment, give me a topic, give me something that you'd like to talk about or hear about, or, just whatever it is. Because, this right here means more to me than just bullshitting about movies. Don't get me wrong, I love movies, but, when it really comes down to it, if we can't help each other out, especially in times like this with this pandemic, then what the fuck are we doing? This is this is what it's all about, right here. Sitting down together and, hey, theoretically, social distancing at its best. So, we can have a whole group on this and just discuss things, share ideas, whatever you want to do. So, I'm not sure when I'll put out another video. This is just something just hit me, and I just felt like doing it after all this time. So, hey, everyone stay safe, stay positive, and yeah, I guess I'll talk to you all soon. All right.